When you are dealing with a sociopath, it can feel like your mind is not your own. They are masters of a special kind of manipulation. It is subtle, it is confusing, and it is incredibly effective. They can make you doubt your own thoughts, your own feelings, and even your own sanity. Many people try to fight back by arguing, by using logic, or by trying to catch the sociopath in a lie. But these methods almost always fail. Why? Because you are trying to play a game of chess with someone who is an expert at it, and they wrote the rules. So, what can you do? What is the secret to stopping their manipulation? The answer is simpler than you think. You have to stop playing their game and start playing a different one. In this video, we are going to show you exactly what to do instead. We will reveal a powerful technique that sociopaths cannot handle, a method that takes away their power and puts you back in control. I am Dr. Eleanor Whitmore. For more than 30 years, my work as a psychologist has focused on the dark world of personality disorders. I have seen how sociopaths operate. They are chameleons. They can be charming, witty, and incredibly persuasive. They study people, they learn what you want to hear, what you are afraid of, and what makes you feel guilty, and then they use that information against you. They do not feel empathy or remorse like most people do. For them, life is a game, and other people are just pieces on the board to be moved around for their own benefit. The reason so many people fail to stop their manipulation is that they try to appeal to the sociopath's conscience, their sense of fairness, or their emotions. But you cannot appeal to something that is not there. It is like trying to get water from a dry well. The key is to stop focusing on them and to start focusing on you. The technique we are about to discuss does exactly that. So, what is this powerful method? It is called action over words. This principle is simple. You must completely ignore what the sociopath says and focus only on what they do. Their words are their primary weapon. Their words are a smokescreen, a hall of mirrors designed to confuse and control you. Their actions, however, tell the real story. Actions are facts. Words are just air. When you make the conscious decision to base your reality, your decisions and your feelings only on their actions, their entire manipulative structure collapses. They simply cannot operate in a world where their words have no power. Let's explore why this is so effective. A sociopath's manipulation depends on a gap between their words and their actions. They will promise you the world, but their actions will show you that they only care about themselves. They will tell you how much they love you, but their actions will be cruel and dismissive. They will apologize with beautiful, convincing words, but their actions will show you that they have no intention of changing. They live in this gap. They thrive in it. It is where they confuse you. You hear their pretty words, and you want to believe them. You think, maybe I am being too hard on them. Maybe they really mean it this time. And just like that, you are caught in their trap again. The action over words principle closes that gap. It makes it disappear. When you only look at their actions, there is no more confusion. The picture becomes crystal clear. Let's break down how to put this into practice. It involves 3 main steps: observe, believe, and act. The first step is to observe their actions like a detective. You need to become a neutral observer of their behavior. This means you have to emotionally detach from their words. When they are telling you a story, making a promise, or giving you a compliment, you have to train your brain to treat it as just noise. It is information, but it is not truth. The only truth is what you can see with your own eyes. You need to watch what they do, not what they say they do. Do they follow through on their promises? Do they show up when they say they will? Do their actions show respect and kindness, or do they show selfishness and cruelty? You need to collect data, facts, verifiable actions. Keeping a private journal can be extremely helpful here. Write down the date, what they said they would do, and then what they actually did. This is not about building a case against them to use in an argument. It is about creating a clear factual record for yourself so you cannot be gaslighted or confused later. For example, a sociopath might tell you, "I am really working on my anger issues. I promise I will never yell at you like that again." Their words sound sincere. They might even have tears in their eyes. The old you would have focused on those words. You would have felt a surge of hope. You would have thought, "He's finally getting it." But the new you, the you who practices action over words, will treat those words as irrelevant. Over its day you yourself, "Okay, those are the words. Now, let's observe the actions." You will then watch their behavior over the next few days and weeks. Do they actually stop yelling, or does the same pattern of behavior repeat itself? When they do yell again, you write it down. Tuesday, 3 p.m. Yelled about the dishes. You are no longer listening to the music of their promises. You are just counting the beats of their actions. This step is difficult because it requires you to fight against your own hope. You want to believe that people are good. You want to believe that they can change. And the sociopath knows this. They use your own hope against you. Observing their actions without emotion is an act of radical self-preservation. You are choosing to see what is real, not what you wish was real. It is about becoming a scientist in your own life, and the sociopath's behavior is your subject of study. You are looking for patterns, for consistency, and with a sociopath, the most consistent thing you will find is the inconsistency between what they say and what they do. Let's add another layer to this. Pay close attention to their actions when they think no one is watching, or their actions towards people they have no use for, like a waiter or a cashier. This is often where their true character reveals itself. Do they treat service staff with contempt? Are they kind to animals? Do they drop the charming act the moment they think it is no longer needed? These unfiltered actions are pure data. They show you the person behind the mask without the performance. This is crucial information that you must not ignore. A sociopath might be the most charming person in the room at a party, but then be rude and dismissive to the person parking their car. That single action tells you more than hours of charming conversation. Another important area to observe is how they handle responsibility. When something goes wrong, do their actions involve taking ownership, or do they involve blaming others? A sociopath will have a story for everything, a narrative where they are always the victim or the hero, but never the one at fault. Their words will paint a picture of bad luck, of being misunderstood, of other people letting them down, but their actions will show a consistent pattern of avoiding accountability. They don't clean up their own messes. They don't apologize in a way that leads to changed behavior. They simply talk their way out of it. Your job is to ignore the story and observe the action, or in this case, the lack of action. The lack of taking responsibility is a massive piece of data. The second step is to believe the actions. This sounds simple, but it is the hardest part for many people. Once you have observed a pattern of negative behavior, you must believe it. You must accept that the actions are the truth of who this person is, regardless of what they say. If someone consistently lies to you, you must believe that they are a liar, even if they give you 1,000 beautiful apologies. If someone consistently betrays your trust, you must believe that they are not trustworthy, even if they swear they will never do it again. You have to stop making excuses for them. You have to stop saying, "But he's had a hard life," or "She doesn't really mean it." Believe the data you have collected in your journal. The actions are the evidence. The pattern is the verdict. Let's go back to the example of the sociopath who promises to stop yelling. You observe them for a week, and they yell at you 3 more times. The action is clear. They are continuing to yell. Now you must believe that action. You must accept the truth. This person is someone who yells at me. Their words about changing are meaningless. This is a painful acceptance. It means letting go of the fantasy that they will change. That means facing the reality of the person you are dealing with. But this acceptance is also where your power comes from. When you believe the actions, you are no longer living in the fog of their lies. You are standing on the solid ground of reality, and from that solid ground, you can make clear, rational decisions. Sociopaths are experts at making you doubt what you see. This is a form of gaslighting. When you confront them with their actions, they will have a million excuses. They will say you are misinterpreting things. They will say it was just a one-time thing. Even if it has happened 100 times, they will say you are the one who is causing them to act this way. They will do anything to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. This is why you must believe your own observations above all else. Your reality is not up for debate. The actions happened. Believe them. This step requires you to trust yourself more than you trust them. For many victims of manipulation, this is a huge step because their self-trust has been eroded over years. Rebuilding that trust starts here by looking at the undeniable facts of their actions and choosing to believe yourself. The third and final step is to act based on their actions, not their words. Once you have observed their behavior and believed the pattern, your own actions must be based on that reality. This means you stop responding to their words and start responding to their actions. If they promise to change, you no longer reward them with your trust and affection. You wait and see if the action of change actually occurs. If they apologize, you no longer immediately forgive them. You wait to see if their behavior changes. Your trust, your time, and your energy are now earned through consistent, positive actions, not through empty words. This will completely short-circuit the sociopath's manipulative tactics. They are used to being able to control you with their words. They are used to getting what they want by saying the right things. When you stop responding to their words, they lose their primary tool of control. For example, if a sociopath is trying to borrow money from you again, they might give you a long, sad story about why they need it. They will promise to pay you back next week, just like they did the last 5 times. The old you would have listened to the story and felt sorry for them. The new you will ignore the story. You will look at the past actions. The past actions are, they have borrowed money 5 times and have never paid it back. So your action is based on that reality. You will say, no. You will not get into an argument about the story. You will not explain why you are saying no. You will simply act based on the facts. The fact is, they do not pay back money. So you do not give them any more money. Or consider a sociopath who keeps cheating on you. They will get caught and they will cry. They will tell you how sorry they are. They will say it was a stupid mistake and it will never happen again. They will promise to go to therapy. Their words will be perfect. The old you would have focused on the apology. You would have felt the pain of their supposed remorse. You would have decided to give them one more chance. The new you will ignore the words. You will look at the action. The action is cheating. The pattern is repeated, cheating. So your action must be based on that. You must act as you would with someone who has proven themselves to be a cheater. This might mean ending the relationship. It means you stop giving them more chances to do the same thing again. You are no longer reacting to their performance. You are responding to their character, which has been revealed through their actions. Your actions become your boundaries. Here, when you refuse to give them money, you are setting a financial boundary. When you end a relationship after they cheat, You are setting a boundary of fidelity and respect. When you start to live by the action over words principle, something amazing happens. The sociopath's power over you evaporates. They might get angry, they might get frustrated, they might accuse you of being cold and unfeeling. This is a good sign. It means what you are doing is working. They are frustrated because their usual tricks are no longer effective. They are like a magician whose audience has suddenly figured out how all his tricks are done. The show is over. They have no more power over you because you are no longer participating in their illusion. They may even escalate their behavior for a short time. This is called an extinction burst. They are trying one last time with more intensity to see if the old manipulation will work. When you hold firm, they will eventually realize that the game has changed for good. They will be forced to go find a new audience, a new person to manipulate. This technique is not about punishing the sociopath. It is about protecting yourself. It is about choosing to live in reality. It is about honoring your own worth by refusing to allow someone to manipulate you with empty promises and lies. It is about building your life on the solid foundation of facts, not on the shifting sands of their words. It takes courage to do this. It takes discipline, but it is the only way to truly break free from the manipulative grip of a sociopath. Stop listening, start watching, and then act accordingly. That is what you do instead, and it will change everything. In our next video, we will discuss the specific phrases sociopaths use to test your boundaries and how to respond to them. Thank you for listening.